Marcy and the Riddle of the Sphinx by Joe Todd Stanton. Hello dear readers, and welcome to the Brownstone Family Observatory. Here we can survey the night sky, a thing which can be very scary and mysterious to some. One person who had this fear more than most was one of my ancestors, a girl by the name of Marcy Brownstone. Her father, Arthur, who was a great explorer who saved his village from a terrible beast when he was a young boy, travelled the world and discovered ancient secrets and collected wondrous artifacts. Until one day he met another adventurer. Together they moved to a small town and Marcy was born soon after. Every evening Marcy loved to listen to the tales of her father's adventures, though she never quite believed him. After all, he was very old and far too portly. But at night, everything changed. The creatures from her father's amazing tales turned into terrifying monsters in the shadows. Marcy felt utterly lost and alone in the dark. All she could do was close her eyes tight and wait for sunrise. One day, Arthur decided it was time for Marcy's first adventure. He knew that Marcy doubted his stories, so he took her deep into the forest to find an old friend. As the day wore on, Marcy started to worry that they wouldn't find their way back in the dark. Arthur pointed up to the sky and told her that the North Star would always guide them home, no matter how dark it was. Finally they reached the entrance of a cave, and Marcy froze with fear. Evil-looking shadows climbed the walls, and she refused to go any further. Hurt that Marcy didn't trust him, and hoping she might follow him, Arthur ventured into the cave alone. Arthur had wanted to show Marcy the most incredible sight, but she didn't appear, and Arthur had to turn back. On the walk home, Arthur was very quiet, and Marcy was sure he was disappointed in her. If she couldn't go into a stupid dark cave, maybe she wasn't an adventurer at all. Maybe she wasn't even a real brownstone. The next day, Marcy found a note from her father. Her mother said it was nothing to worry about. Marcy didn't feel happy at all. The whole week went by. Marcy was so worried she snuck into her father's study. Hidden under piles of papers and old artifacts, Marcy found Arthur's journal. It showed her that her father must have gone to Egypt to find an old book trapped in the belly of the sphinx. Oh no, the father had trouble just bending over when he dropped his glasses. Marcy would have to help him somehow. Just then she noticed the magical feathers of Windweaver tucked into the brim of her father's old hat. Arthur had told her that carrying a feather from this mighty bird would grant someone help in time of need. Marcy smiled and put it on. Feeling a little braver already, Marcy climbed out of the study window where Windweaver was waiting for her. She felt her chest tighten as they swooped into the air and began the journey towards Egypt. Marcy landed at the feet of a strange creature sitting on a massive throne. "I am Thoth, god of knowledge and the moon. I know who you are, little girl. Your father was foolish enough to enter the Sphinx in the hope of getting my book. It seems he wanted to help you with your fear of the dark. You see, whoever possesses my book will understand all the mysteries of the world." But, like many before him, he underestimated the dangers. "Only if you can solve the Sphinx's riddle, enter the tomb, and overcome my traps and defeat the snake, can you free your father." Marcy and the Riddle of the Sphinx by Joe Todd Stanton.